Good morning, everyone. I'm Assistant City Manager Lori Bays, and I'd like to welcome you to our budget hearing. Today is our final virtual budget hearing that we are hosting to introduce the 22-23 trial budget. The feedback we received today and throughout the budget hearing process is extremely important to us as we formulate the proposed budget to present to City Council. The proposed budget will be presented to City Council on May 3rd and voted on May 17th. These hearings will be recorded and streamed on our YouTube channel. And for those of you who do not wish to speak today, you can leave a comment at Phoenix.gov/budget. Another way to participate is through the Fund Phoenix Interactive Budget Tool. This interactive tool lets you provide direct feedback on the proposed budget as well. So now I'd like to introduce Councilwoman OBrien to make some introductory comments.
Thank you so much, Lori. I just want to thank all the staff who've put in hard work on our budget, and again, thank all the community members who are reaching out and letting us know what is important to them, and I would encourage them to continue to do that, but we'll reserve the rest of my comments for the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Before we begin the video, I would like to introduce our interpreter, Elsie Duarte, for today's hearing.
Voy a introducirles al intérprete. My name is Elsie Duarte, and along with my colleague Oscar Monroy, we will be serving as interpreters for today's virtual budget audience. I will now introduce myself to our Spanish-speaking audience. Mi nombre es Elsie Duarte, junto con mi colega Oscar Monroy. Estaremos sirviéndoles hoy como intérpretes en la audiencia virtual del presupuesto operativo. Al momento de hacer un comentario público, de favor les pedimos que hable despacio, con claridad y deténgase después de cada pocas oraciones para interpretarle de la manera más completa posible. Ahora les diré cómo acceder a la reunión en español. Desde su teléfono, llame al 602-666-0783, introduzca el número de junta 2484-727-1179 seguido por el símbolo de número. Nuevamente introduzca el símbolo de número cuando se le solicite el número de identificación o ID de asistente. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsie. Next, we will show the budget video highlighting what is in the proposed 22-23 budget, and immediately following the video, we will move to speaker comments.
The City of Phoenix trial budget for fiscal year 2022-2023, proposed by the Phoenix City Manager, is ready for public review and comment. A trial budget is a rough draft of the actual budget, estimating how much money and how it will be used for the next fiscal year. How does Phoenix's annual budget work? The city budget is made up of three parts: the general fund, enterprise funds, and special revenue funds. The general fund is made up of general sales tax, property taxes, revenue distributed by the state from income tax, sales and vehicle taxes, and some fines and fees. The general fund supports many of the services our residents, visitors, and businesses have come to expect in Phoenix libraries, parks, senior and youth programs, and police and fire services. Enterprise funds come from departments that only charge the people who use their services directly, like water and sewer, airlines and passengers at Sky Harbor, and trash and recycling customers. Finally, special revenue funds, earmarked for specific purposes from grants and voter-approved sales taxes dedicated for parks and preserves, transportation, and public safety. That's how Phoenix gets its money. Now, how do we spend it? Phoenix has a long history of public budgeting, giving the community a voice in the future of our city by starting the public involvement much earlier than required. Each year, departments look at what it will take to provide services for the upcoming year, and staff forecast what resources will be available to pay for services. The city manager proposes a trial budget that identifies programs and services that build a better, more inclusive city for all, and will keep the budget balanced. Then we ask for your input at community budget hearings, or by using the Fund Phoenix Interactive Budget tool, or by contacting the city directly to ensure the budget reflects the priorities of our residents and City Council. After receiving your input, the City Council will vote on the budget in May and legally adopt the budget in June each year. The law requires the city's budget to be balanced each year. And this year, we are happy to report a projected budget surplus of $76 million. This is thanks to Phoenix's continued strong economy and sound fiscal leadership from the mayor and city council. For fiscal year 2022-23, the proposed general fund trial budget includes $21 million to address important needs raised by the council and community, and $55 million in set-asides that could be used for employee compensation, city council priorities next year or in future years, or if needed, provide for budget flexibility. The $21 million in supplementals for next fiscal year is proposed for city council and community priority areas, including Focus Area 1, Affordable Housing. $1.5 million is proposed for affordable housing to continue necessary support to low-income residents, such as homelessness prevention and funding for Phoenix Starfish Place, which is dedicated to healing and empowering human trafficking survivors. Focus Area 2, Climate and Sustainability. A proposed $1.3 million to create positions dedicated to climate and sustainability initiatives to achieve the goals of the council-approved Climate Action Plan, and to continue funding for the city's award-winning Cool Pavement program to further help mitigate heat in the city. The funds would also create a position within the city focused on studying the benefits of electric vehicle infrastructure, along with a dedicated Climate Action Plan manager to work toward achieving the goals of the council-approved Climate Action Plan. Focus Area 3, Economic Development, Planning, and Innovation. $1.6 million is proposed to keep Phoenix competitive in the global market. Proposed additions include positions for the Community and Economic Development Department to formalize an international trade program to remain competitive with global markets, enhance marketing opportunities to increase jobs, and resources to target vacant storefronts to create new retail centers. Staffing will also be added to help achieve City Council priority projects, such as transit-oriented development and the Housing Phoenix Plan. Focus Area 4, Historic Preservation and Arts. The city's art collection is in need of refurbishment, and historic buildings need to be protected, which is why the city is proposing $200,000 to invest in historic preservation grants and to provide increased funding for the Office of Arts and Culture, including arts grants to enhance programming to youth and artists in the community. Focus Area 5, Homelessness, Immigrant, Refugee Support, and Fast Track Cities. $3 million and 17 new positions are proposed to assist the city's growing homeless, immigrant, and refugee populations. The proposed money would help achieve the goals of the council-approved Strategies to Address Homelessness Plan and expand the CARES program that connects individuals to needed services, and a new navigator dedicated to helping immigrants and refugees transitioning into the community, and ongoing funding of $250,000 for the Fast Track Cities initiative. Focus Area 6, Parks and Recreation and Library. To enhance community services, $2.7 million is proposed to the Parks and Recreation Department and the Library Department for enhanced after-school programming at Phoenix after-school centers. Money would also launch a new bookmobile to provide library programming in the Southwest Valley. Focus Area 7, Public Safety and Criminal Justice. $6.3 million is proposed to add more fire sworn personnel to meet minimum staffing requirements. The 19th Avenue Corridor Community Safety and Crime Prevention Plan, and case management support for municipal court to help victims of domestic violence, and new attorney positions for Public Defender's Office for the Veterans and Mental Health Specialty Courts. The proposal also includes using the Phoenix Police Department's existing operating budget to increase the number of civilian positions, allowing sworn personnel to return to the field to respond to calls for service. Focus Area 8, roadway safety. Pedestrian and roadway safety is crucial for city streets. $600,000 is proposed to increase annual resources for the City Council-approved Roadway Safety Action Plan. The proposed fiscal year 2022-23 trial budget also includes new positions and needed resources for city enterprise and special revenue funds due to growth and increased demand for services, including additions for aviation, development services, solid waste, transit, and water services. This has been just a taste of what you will find in the 2022-23 City of Phoenix proposed trial budget. More information on the proposed budget is available at our website, Phoenix.gov/budget. We encourage you to use our Fun Phoenix interactive tool to provide input, an interactive budget tool that lets you provide direct feedback on the proposed fiscal year 2022-23 trial budget additions. We hope that you'll review additional details in the Budget Tabloid, available online at Phoenix.gov/budget. Please share your feedback in whatever way works best for you, at one of the virtual community budget hearings, or by email at budget.research@phoenix.gov. You can comment on the city's social media pages at CityofPhoenixAZ on Facebook or Twitter, and use hashtag PHXBudget, or call us at 602-262-4800. The city manager will present his proposed budget for 2022-23 to the Phoenix City Council on May 3rd, 2022. The council's budget decision will take place on May 17th, 2022. Thank you for being part of this important process. We look forward to hearing your ideas for this year's trial budget and the future of Phoenix.
We will now read the hearing conduct statement and then start calling names of the speakers. Members of the public may speak for up to 2 minutes to comment on the proposed budget. The city code requires speakers to present their comments in a respectful and courteous manner. Profane language, threats, or personal attacks on members of the public, council members, or staff are not allowed. A person who violates these rules will lose opportunity to continue to speak. The city council and staff cannot discuss or comment on matters related to the pending claims or litigation. And this morning, our first speaker will be Frank Steinmetz, followed by Stanley Bates. Frank, are you on the line?
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. We can hear you, and you may proceed.
Thank you. Good day. Since early April, I have sent each board member and each budget meeting emails asking that Councilwoman OBrien get your total support for funding a new Cactus Park precinct building. Following our brief stats showing the current Cactus Park versus Mountain View precinct stats. Mountain View, Maryville, Australia, Black Mountain are about the same newer style buildings and about the same size. Cactus Park is sitting on 4.5 acres. Mountain View is sitting on 5.68 acres. Total square footage of the Cactus Park precinct building is 12,376. The other buildings of these newer ones are 26,000 square feet. Automobile repair bays are 2 at Cactus Park, 4 at the others. Total officers allotted to Cactus Park is 260. Mountain View has 202. So yes, Cactus Park has 58 more officers allocated. However, total numbers of officers assigned are 150 at Cactus Park and 175 at Mountain View. Square miles of coverage is over 50 square miles by Cactus Park and only 46 square miles at Mountain View. Another way to help our officers and help keep our community safe is to give the NSD department yearly budget funds for the Security Gated Alley program. Not only is this a community safety program, but also can and should be part of the city's beautification program if you also increase funding for the streets public works department so they can hire more employees to finally start enforcing alley code violations. Together, we can reduce crime, get more officers, and we'll have less crime. Thank you. Stay safe and healthy.
Our next speaker is Stanley Bates, followed by Stacia Hertz. Stanley, are you on the line?
I am. Good morning, Councilwoman OBrien and City Manager Manings. For brevity, I'm going to give a short version of what I sent yesterday. Frank Steinmetz and I have toured Black Mountain, Mountain View, and Cactus Park precincts to obtain information for our presentations. The Cactus Park Police Precinct building is outdated, way too small, and not built to house both men and women equally. The women serving at this facility have had to use a small portion of the men's locker room to shower and change. Workout facilities are shared because otherwise there'd be no equipment available. This problem is especially highlighted when one considers the men's locker is over twice as tall and 4.4 inches wider than the women's lockers. However, no one has ever considered how much space is needed for officers to store their uniforms and other equipment necessary to do their jobs. Currently, officers are forced to store some of their equipment in their personal vehicles, some in squad cars, and still more in their lockers. The Cactus Park precinct is so outdated it still has ashtrays in the restrooms, and is probably the only such facility in the state of Arizona with this problem. The briefing room is so small that it's next to impossible for the entire shift to be inside the room, so they stand right outside the entrance, straining to hear what is happening. If the precinct was fully staffed, it's currently 110 officers short of its authorized position, this problem would be even more egregious. The City of Phoenix needs to find the money to build a new Cactus Park precinct building. If the city does not want to build a prototypical building like Black Mountain, Mountain View, and Australia Maryville precincts, they suggest they attempt to see if they can work a deal with College America at Metro Center, Best Buy at Metro Center, or Fry's Electronics at 31st and Thunderbird, as those facilities have been sitting vacant. Maybe owners of those facilities would give the city a sweetheart deal on the property, and that all would be required would be some renovation costs and the timelines would be shorter. If necessary, the precinct could continue to use the current facility for gasoline, storage of vehicles, and repairs. I just wanted to make everyone aware of how Cactus Park has been shortchanged. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker will be Stacia Hertz, followed by Caroline Lobo. Stacia, are you on the line? Stacia is not on the line. Our next speaker will be Caroline Lobo, followed by Jill Osendorp. Caroline, are you on the line?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, and you may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, City Manager Jeff Barton and staff for your efforts in putting this budget together. Also, thank you, Councilwoman OBrien, for your leadership and support of our PD. I am a resident and business owner in Sunny Slope District 3. Homelessness and drugs has impacted our community like every other community. Our I-17 corridor and pockets within our community, particularly West Sunny Slope and the Hatcher corridor, are overburdened with social services, including rehab centers, halfway houses, you name it. And some of these pockets need additional complete street infrastructure, including sidewalks, gated alleys, lighting, and shade to make them whole, healthy, sustainable communities. I am requesting dedicated staff to come up with a 5-year equity plan for some of these neighborhoods. As a small business owner heading a business alliance of over 200 small and micro businesses, I'm also requesting dedicated small business liaisons to ensure the health and vitality of these businesses for our communities. And last but not the least, in light of the recent police shootings, I request that we continue to support and provide resources to our police department, including looking at alternate ways of supporting our PD to keep us all safe. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Jill Osendorp, followed by Bill Shield. Jill, are you on the line?
I am. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. We can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
You may proceed. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman OBrien. My name is Jill Ostendorp, and you have heard from Carrie and I over the past several weeks about the necessity of more pickleball courts in Ahwatukee, and specifically the need for park renovations and improvements at Desert Foothills Park, as not only was this park never finished in the past 25 years, but is very much deteriorating as money is being directed outside of the community to other projects. Why? We don't know, but we have over 900 community members that are in support of our initiative. Today, I would like to share a message from the executive member from Arizona Pickleball Players Association. This organization has grown 175% over the past 2 years. That's double the number of teams. Our growth is now court limited. This year, there were 350 teams and 3,500 players in the league. We expect it to double again in 2 years as Arizona is becoming a pickleball hotspot. Pecos, Gilbert, and Tempe are the only public facilities for league play, with all other play taking place mostly at retirement communities. Without increased capacity at our city courts, we can't keep up with the demand for playing time, and this problem will only get worse. While we are grateful for the 16 courts at Pecos, they are completely full in the mornings and evenings. Typically, there are at least 9 to 15 people waiting to get on a court, and it's estimated over 50% of the players playing aren't even from the Phoenix area due to its proximity to major freeways. We've all heard people say we have an obesity problem in our nation, and pickleball is the cure for that. It gets people out exercising, socializing, and having fun. Nationally, pickleball has grown over 40% and is one of the fastest growing sports, and league play is now surpassing tennis. We realize the needs are great and a balanced budget important, but with the city's budget surplus, now is the time to make the expenditures necessary for this much needed project in the area, as it will not only benefit Ahwatukee, but surrounding communities as well due to its accessibility. We'll be forwarding you all a copy of our latest presentation for review as you make your decisions on this coming year's budget. Thank you again for your time and consideration.
Our next speaker is Bill Schill, followed by Cindy Gahn. Bill, are you on the line? Bill is not on the line. Our next and final speaker is Cindy Gahn, not followed by anybody. Cindy, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. We can hear you. You may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. For the record, my name is Cindy Gahn, Senior Director of Phoenix Community Alliance, speaking on behalf of its board and members. Thank you, Councilwoman OBrien and city staff members for this opportunity to provide input on the city manager's trial budget. It's an important process. Just wanted to let you know that PCA, Phoenix Community Alliance, supports the $1.5 million for affordable housing, including resources for permanent supportive housing services and homelessness prevention, the $1.3 million and 3 positions for climate and sustainability, especially as related to the Climate Action Plan Manager, EV Manager, and Cool Pavement programs. $1.6 million and 10 positions for economic development, CEDD, the creation of vacant commercial storefront team to address the many vacant storefronts throughout, not just downtown Phoenix, but the city as a whole. There are much needed additions to the staff for planning development, OCA, and adaptive reuse programs. Also, funding for historic preservation in the amount of $500,000 for threatened buildings and exterior rehabilitation, and additional funds for the arts above the $0.1 million, possibly from the second tranche of the ARPA funds. In addition, the $3 million and 17 positions for homelessness, immigrant refugee support, and fast track cities. As well, $2.7 million and 13 positions for parks and recreation and libraries, in particular our key urban parks like Hance Park. Then there's the $0.6 million for roadway safety. We can always use more support for that as we support Vision Zero, increasing resources and looking forward to an infusion of federal funding for this program as well. As well, we support the addition of 31 positions for aviation, the 10 much needed positions for planning and development, $0.9 million and 6 positions for public transit, 12 positions for streets transportation as well. And I just want to thank you for your time and service to our city, because what you do is so important for, again, not just downtown Phoenix, but the entire city.
That was our final speaker. I want to thank all of our speakers today and now provide Councilwoman OBrien an opportunity to make some final comments.
Thank you, Lori. I would like to thank Frank and Stan for their steadfast advocacy for a new precinct for our Cactus Park officers. I didn't really believe them when they told me there were still ashtrays in the bathroom, but there are. And I know staff is working diligently to figure out how we can improve, and not just improve, but provide a new building for them. It is important that we provide the proper resources and support to our police department. So thank you, gentlemen, for continuing that advocacy. And I do support the gated alleyway program as well. That is important to our community members, as well as community members across the city. It is helping, another way to help our officers additionally. I think I really do want to say hats off to our staff, because it's important to have, not just important, but it's the law to have a balanced budget, and we've done well through the pandemic, and thank you for your leadership in that. In addition, I do want to take a moment to talk about the need, again, for public safety as we grow in the north part of the city. Councilman Waring's constituents, as well as mine, will have a need for additional fire stations, police stations. With TSMC coming, we are going to need more resources for that. And then finally, I would just like to take a point of personal privilege to ask everyone to please keep the officer who was shot yesterday in your prayers, and that she will receive a full recovery. It was a very difficult day yesterday, but thank God it's going to be okay. And with that, thank everybody for calling in, and I would encourage you to continue to send in emails, call the phone number, the budget number, use the budget tool, as well as contact your council members and mayor throughout this process. We're going to not finish it up till May 17th, so we want to continue to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman O'Brien, and thank you to everyone who has participated in our budget process this year. This concludes our hearing today.